We've had a lot of requests earlier today for vintage Carson Cities. If you were with us the other night, we had the 2021 Carson City up at a crazy price and it sold out. But a lot of requests, any of the old stuff, the good stuff, the stuff that was actually out there during the Wild West. And the answer is tonight, we have one back in stock. Now, we would have brought this up whether people inquired or not because it's one of my favorites. It is the last coin ever struck at the Carson City Mint. So the Morgan dollar was introduced in 1878 from the silver we found in the Comstock lode, which was, if you remember, Virginia City, Nevada, pretty much the epicenter of where the silver was found, right? So we have this new silver, now we have a new silver dollar, and we have the East Coast and West Coast mints making them, Philadelphia and San Francisco. And then we have, well, no Carson's, we have no New Orleans in 1878. It was still closed. They closed it during the Civil War, it never reopened. So the third mint, Carson City. Now, Carson City was established a little earlier that decade. And there are dimes, quarters, half dollars that were struck by the Carson City Mint for circulation. And we get those every once in a while, and they're a lot of fun. They're really rare, but really affordable. But the big silver dollar from the Comstock lode, boom, Carson City. The Morgan. How significant is the Morgan? How significant is the Carson City? Well, if you remember in 2021, when the U.S. Mint celebrated the 100th anniversary of the last Morgan, which would have been 1921. And then they were making special silver dollars. And then they told us they're not just making Philadelphia, Denver's, and San Francisco's, which were the three mints that struck the Morgan in 1921, but they're making all 5 of the historical mints. Philadelphia, Denver, San Francisco, yes, those are still being used today, but the 2 mints that closed, that were making the Morgan, were New Orleans, because they closed in 1904, but the Carson City Mint, after the second term of Grover Cleveland, closed in 1893. End in history. Now, on May 24th, 2021, when that Morgan Dollar program, the new one, was launched, the first coin out was Carson City. It lasted 3 minutes. And there are 175,000 coins that were created, that were sold, and the frenzy happened. The U.S. Mint actually shut down their order service for large releases until August 3rd. So think about that. Almost 9 weeks later, we were telling them the service is fine, the website is fine. The problem is you didn't make enough. So by the way, the 23s and the 24s, 275,000 uncirculated. How about this one? The end of an era. The last coin. The last one standing. There were 13 Carson City Morgan dollars. 1878 to 1885, 4-year pause. And then brought back in 1889 through 1893. And then the mint was closed forever. This is one of those that was made that last year. Not a remake, not a facsimile. Now the quality is hand-selected, circulated, like the coins you're seeing on your screen. An obverse and a reverse, there'll be a beautiful, homogeneous match. We spend a lot of time and effort. Our kick-out rate is about 70%. So for every 1893 we see, we keep 3, kick out 7. It's probably a little stronger than that. And that's because both sides are important. You want to look at the one side, 1893, you want to see a beautiful circulated coin. And for the money you're paying, you want it to be a nice looking coin, right? But when you turn it over, the Carson City Mint mark is what I want to see. And I want it to look great. But does it match the front? How many times have you looked at the front of a coin, turned it over and said, son of a gun, I thought I had one. So only 677,000 were made in 1893. So if you want to rank it, it's the 5th lowest of all the Carson cities. But even more significant, it is the 13th lowest of the 97 different Morgans they made. Year and mint to get to that 97. Significant. It's one of those must-have coins. Now you do know that the other special coins from 1893, all of them are. The P's are special. The O's are special. The San Francisco is the #1 coin. The 1893 S is the Holy Grail with only 100,000 made. Right? But here is the number that helps explain why you don't see this coin in circulation. I.e., coin shows for us circulation. And that is if you use NGC and PCGS and add their coins together and the 40 years they've been doing it each. And they show you every coin they see. And we use it as a barometer. Because like the 1884 Carson City, between the two of them, they've seen almost 500,000 coins. This one, 16,363. Back to that 1893 story. Guys, we need a 1-minute clock, please. Down to my last 5 or 6. If you're visiting us via the web, this one, I got 12 or 13 calls coming in. Right now, I don't have Johnny Carson's trick of knowing what you're calling exactly for, other than this is on the air right now and you're calling. Could have been from something else, could be any number of reasons. No need to get into that. Other than if you're on the web, it's in your shopping cart. If it's something you need to have tonight, and I understand why you should, push it to your shopping cart. It'll give you an order number. It'll lock it up for you. And then just give us a call back if you want to add anything else to it. That way it's all in the same order for you. Keep it clean. My competition. We found one at $9.99, and I wouldn't even own that. It was such an ugly looking coin, but it was under $1,000. The rest were $1,100 to $1,200 for quality looking coins. Or tonight you can be hundreds of dollars less. Get the significance, get the quality, and tonight, which is almost every night here, you're always going to get the price. But this one, a significant coin, a significant price, the 1893 CC, the last of all the CCs while they last.